Scott Holliday here, and welcome back once again to Plus 2 Wrestling. Thank you to all those who are commenting on my The Sami Zayn problem. And most people seem to agree that Sami, unfortunately, narratively, should not be champion. It makes more sense for it to be Cody Rhodes. So it looks like, just as predicted, it is going to be Sami Zayn teaming with an unwilling Kevin Owens to take on the Usos. And we will see Cody take on Roman Reigns for that championship. So, with that out of the way, let's plug in. March 5th at Havre de Grace, Maryland State Theater. It is CZW Limelight 14, and the time is finally among us. We are going to take the CZW World Tag Team Championships, and we're going to hang them high in the air above the ring. And the only way to be crowned Tag Team Champions is to ascend a ladder. And these four teams know each other very, very well. It is the team of CMD, that's Boom Harden and Deshaun Pratt, battling against Vinny Talata and Miami Mike Walker post-game, along with Milk Chocolate Randy Summers and Brandon Watts, the most succulent tag team in CZW. They pay me to say it that way. And finally, the final team, the name in CZW, the most established tag team in all of the Combat Zone. Dave McCall, Nate Wallace, The Rep. Who will ascend the ladders and become tag team champions? Find out at Limelight 14. But that is not all. At CZW Live, we saw the mixed tag team of Mike Mistretta and Zeta battling the Board, JC Storm, and it was supposed to be Jared Diaz, but there was a late minute sub, and it was Jaden Vallow. There are no tag team partners, though, at Limelight 14, as Zeta will go one-on-one with JC Storm. The Board will be in Storm's corner, but Zeta will be going at it alone. Why? Because Mike Mistretta has other things to do. Mike Mistretta will be going one-on-one with the Savage Weight, Fred Yeha. At CZW Live, Fred Yeha put out a 3-minute challenge claiming that no one could hang for 3 minutes against Fred Yeha. And that call was answered by Mr. Main Event himself, Sal Savelli, the protege, the new person that has been put under the wing of Mike Mistretta. And Sal was able to hang on for 3 minutes. Unfortunately for Sal, the match then continued, and he lost that match by technical knockout. So Mike Mistretta has a bit of revenge on his mind as he takes on Fred Yeha. This all goes down at Limelight 14 on March 5th in Havre de Grace, Maryland. The doors open at 3 p.m. and the show starts at 4. Plenty of time for you to get home for Revolution. So please join us for Limelight 14. HTW High Tension Wrestling presents Spring Breakdown 93, taking place on March 18th, 2023. No actual time travel is involved. But be sure to join us at Penn's Landing Catering. That's 1301 South Christopher Columbus Boulevard in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There you will see the HTW television champion Skyros defend against Edis Surreal. Jet Jagori takes on Tommy Vex for the #1 contendership for that television championship. The Campeonatos del Ranas will be defended by the Outfielders against Ethan Wild LLC. And I am happy to announce we will have live music. It's going to be a wild party as All Day Special joins us for Spring Breakdown. Be sure to wear your best 90s clothes and join us for the rocking party of the spring. It's Spring Breakdown 93. Ticket information is available in the links down below. So if you heard everything I just said about Spring Breakdown and you're thinking to yourself, well, I need to catch up on all the insane stories going on at HTW. Well, I'm happy to tell you that all of the HTW library is now available on our YouTube page, so check out High Tension Wrestling and watch all of our past events. If you're looking for something to watch, I highly recommend you check out Frog Sport and check out the Soviet death match between Masha Slamovich and Edith Surreal. It is a brutal, bloody battle in the snow. I've never seen anything like it. So be sure to check out the High Tension Wrestling YouTube page and tell them that Scott Holiday sent you. I get royalties. So subscribe and then say you subscribe because of me. It helps. I need that cheddar. Oh, and finally, just as a quick note, I'm happy to announce that I'm now working for Combat Fights Underground. I'm not sure exactly what my role is going to be, but be sure to check out CFU. It is an all-female cage fighting wrestling league, and it is available for you to watch on IWTV. So today on the Scout Soapbox, I have a bit of an interesting thing I want to do. This is going to be an indie spotlight. We're going to take a look at a little indie company that you probably have never heard of, and I'm going to give my thoughts and feedback on this company, what makes it great, what could be improved. And out of all of the companies across the globe I have picked, I have decided to go with English World Wrestling, a wrestling event that takes place exclusively at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire. This is something that I took in live back in October and have been meaning to make this video about it. But here, we're making it now. So this is a look at EWW, the English World Wrestling. And it's already kind of silly because it's just WWE backwards. I mean, what type of company just takes a famous company and writes it backwards? It's just it's a really funny bit. It's a really funny bit that I approve of. I really, really like it. But basically, the way it starts out is with someone coming out and explaining how the show's going to work. It starts with this guy.
Welcome to our stout English wrestling event. Welcome to EWW.
So I love this guy. I think this guy is great because while it is a wrestling show, not everyone at the Renaissance Fair is familiar with how to act at a professional wrestling show. So by giving instructions on how to cheer, how to boo, and how to chant, it's very important instructions for people who may not be used to this medium of entertainment. I also really enjoy the EWW as a chant. It harkens back to my old school ECW days where we used to chant EC-dub. So it's a good chant and it's very catchy and something that everyone can understand. So it's a great way to kind of open the show. I will say there's immediately a problem with the way to decide to do this is it's done in a very Renaissance Fair way. If you've ever been to a Renaissance Fair joust, or if you've ever been to medieval times, there's no one that is universally hated as a competitor. They always break it up that there is a group of people that is clearly cheering for evil. And with professional wrestling, when it's done correctly, the crowd should pretty much always be on the side of the good guy and boo the bad guy. I know that there is a collection of fans that love cheering for the bad guy just to mix things up. But wrestling at its purest works best when the audience works as almost a tag team partner for the babyface. They need us to cheer them on so that they can power out of that headlock they're in and hulk their way up. By splitting the crowd like that, you're creating a very strange wrestling situation where it's more of a sports feeling, more of like a soccer game, I guess, where there is one team's fan and another team's fans and they're at odds, rather than having a group of fans that are all for good and anti-evil. You should always be anti-evil.
We're here to see the Paragon of Justice, our local champion, the Hooded Revenger! Oh, well, some of you were like, no, And so this will be good news for you, bad news for the other side. The Hooded Revenger was most grievously injured in their last match against that damn Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary held a submission for so long that it left the Hooded Revenger with a dislocated right shoulder. And so, Bloody Mary has been banned from all EWW events.
So I think the backstory's good. I think the idea of this not just existing as this show, but presenting the audience with the idea that there is a continuous story that is important creates the fact that what happened here today has consequences and has stakes. By creating the idea that something happened earlier and the masked Revenger was injured and can never return, it does create some sense of drama. So I think they do a really good job. Now, of course, this would be a video package in most wrestling companies, but unfortunately, it's the Renaissance, so there were no screens to really help us here. But I definitely think it's a good idea by starting with this story. I really like it, and they do a really good thing with it here.
The custom dictated that a champion must be crowned, and so today you will see the rise of new EWW Tag Team Champions!
Okay, so this is where they're going to lose some points because I love tag team wrestling. I think this is great. So I think the idea of saying we don't have our champions, so we're going to crown tag team champions, good. Thumbs up from me. There's some bad wrestling psychology that happens here. And yes, I know I'm picking on like a stunt show done at a Renaissance Fair, but that's the point of this video. We're just having fun, so please don't take offense. But they make the mistake of first having the baby faces come out first.
Gloriana Justice!
Justice.
The crusher of all evil! Let him hear you! Give it up for his infinite majesty!
You're introducing new characters. You want the heel to come out first. Because when a babyface comes out first, you are supposed to like them. And if somebody comes out and's like, hey, I'm great, you should like me, the natural instinct is to question that and be like, well, what makes you so great? I don't know how great you are. You don't seem that great. You have not earned my applause, so I shan't. But if you bring out the heel first, even if it's a person that I've never seen before, and they just walk out and go, hey, you all suck, the natural reaction to that is to go, nuh-uh, you suck. And then when someone else comes out and says, hey, I'm going to beat that guy up, and I was like, good, he said I sucks, but he sucks, so I want to watch you beat him up. That's just like easy psychology. So by bringing out the baby faces first, you ruin your chance to have that moment. Honestly, it could be done on purpose because instead of it being a united audience against evil, we are split in twain. So by making the heels too evil, it might make it hard for that side to cheer for the evil side. But you honestly don't want people cheering for the evil side, so why do that?
The Hellhorns coming! Give it up for thee! Equestrian!
This guy is awesome. Why would anyone boo a horse? He's awesome. He's funny. He's spitting everywhere. He's a very interesting character. He's a horse.
Equestrian, the usual partner be the band Bloody Mary. Hast thou found a suitable replacement? All he did was neck.
Like, who's gonna boo the horse? Also, At my show, I'm not sure if it happened at every show. The show's the same every day that you go, but there's little tweaks. But they tell this story. The show that I was at, the host said, if you see a horse, chant horsey. Horsey is a much better chant and easier chant than infinite majesty. Infinite majesty. Infinite majesty. Not great. However, horsey, horsey, horsey. That's much better. Also, you've now set up this weird situation where it's a tag team title, but it's a handicap match, and we're supposed to be cheering for the team that's beating up one person. Just a little misstep here. All right, but now it's time to get to the action. And I want to say that first off, I know that these aren't trained wrestlers. This is going to be a more stage combat version of professional wrestling, which I totally understand because I was actually trained in stage combat before I ever did wrestling, which meant my bumps looked like feints. So I got made fun of a lot. So I know there will be less bumping and more rolling through here, but I'm ready to get down to some action. Let's see what's going on here.
One, two.
Whoa, slow down, kid. Work a limb. What are you doing? Now, what they're doing here is actually fine. It looks fine. It's entertaining. It is a little fast for people that are just kind of learning what the sport is. Additionally, they're wearing these big bulky capes, so it's a little hard to see exactly what is being performed here. But I need to talk about the fact that they don't have a ring. The fact that there's no actual ring, and this is not to fault them. This is a challenge that they have to deal with because they're not able to have a ring here. This is where chess happens. You can't put a ring in the middle of the chessboard. But these challenges are things you can correct. One, you don't do bumps. And this is more rolly, and the fact that there's rolling is good. But without the ring, you're actually a lot lower. So after this move, they do a lot of stuff on the ground when it should be things that are more up. It's a mistake to do, say, a figure four, because the figure four involves both people being flat on the ground, rather than a move where you can be standing. It would probably be a lot better here if she had chosen a Boston Crab, because this way she would be up, people could see her, rather than on the ground, because from where I was, they just vanished. Also, you may notice that a big component is missing here. You'll probably notice it, but you won't be able to identify it. It is very hard to do a wrestling show without a ring because you lose the sound. The fact that when there's a bump, there is a gunshot noise that goes off, a nice ba-boom, is important to what makes wrestling wrestling. Without that, they have to rely on their vocals. And they're all wearing microphones, but the microphones were not great the day that I was there. So they have a lot of ground to make up. Despite all this, this is very entertaining. So the fact that they're able to overcome the fact that they can't bump and they don't have a ring and they're near the ground and still are able to put on an entertaining show with clearly defined choreography, 2 thumbs up.
Oh!
I also popped for the RKO. It was out of nowhere.
This is the royal flush.
Whoosh! 1, 2.
So then His Infinite Majesty is going for a pinfall here. He calls it the Royal Flush. It's actually an Omahi straw. I was surprised to see this type of wrestling in this matchup. I popped for it. I was excited. There we go. Full Nelson. Now that's a good move. This is a submission move that is done upward. This way you can kind of walk around and really show people what's happening while, having someone be in peril. these are the moves that they should be doing. So I feel like the earlier part was like the first thing they choreographed, and they just never got rid of it because it continues to get better throughout the show. Boo! Cena sucks. Cena sucks. Cena sucks. I just can't not do that.
Well, now I don't there. Give my boots a shame.
That's a jerk thing to do. Also, that's a pin. Where's the referee? No, seriously, where is the referee? Why isn't there a referee? So the ring announcer is kind of doubling as a referee here. I guess they couldn't spare another body. I wish that they had made that a little bit clearer, because by having a missing referee, they eliminate the idea of having cheating. It's hard to be a heel when you don't see the person who's supposed to be in charge of the rules failing to enforce them. So the lack of a referee is a tough thing for them to overcome. You know, they shoot horses when they break their leg. How is this guy not the hero? He's a horse and they're attacking his leg. They're going to have to shoot him. And it's the Renaissance, so it's going to have to be by catapult. So they're going to put the horse in a field and just shoot rocks, and it's real inaccurate, so it's going to take a while. That's going to be a lot of suffering while that horse waits for a boulder to fall on them. I'm just saying, he's the hero. Why are we cheering for this team?
This is ridiculous. We came here to see a tag team match. And yet there were not even two teams. We came here to see the Hooded Revenger. And yet they're off licking their bones like a little baby.
Oh no, troubles are brewing because the Goblin King has arrived. Dance, magic, dance, magic. No, it's a different Goblin King. He has arrived through the crowd doing a Jon Moxley entrance. That was great. And has basically said that he is there to represent Bloody Mary. If you remember at the beginning of the show, it was mentioned that Bloody Mary had been banned for breaking the arm of the Hooded Revenger. So she sent her lackey to do her work for her. So, once again, we have one heel versus two goodies. Why are the heels always in a handicap situation?
I just have one question for thee. Are you ready to rumble?
The line "Ready to Rumble" is copywritten by Michael Buffer. Using it in a sports context is a breach of copyright. I won't tell if you won't. Don't share this video. No, share this video. Crap.
Rumpelstiltskins, that's my name.
All right. The DDT looked really good, though. It looked really good. While funny, the bully push spot is like such a heel thing. Why are they making me hate these two? Because I'm starting to really hate these two. They're all pretty. Maybe I'm just a heel. Maybe that's just the deal.
Oh, no! No! No!
Been told that a babyface should not do is take a step backwards. The thing that a babyface does is overcome the odds. So to receive a wet willy and for that to be like, this is an indignity, I'm leaving. To not want to fight anymore is the least babyface thing you can do. So I'm not cheering for these people. No. Clearly, the Goblin King is the good person in this scenario. He's willing to fight.
Mary!
So, this is the reason I'm making this video. Right here, the Goblin King is able to trick the tag team here into saying Bloody Mary 3 times. And of course, Bloody Mary then appears.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Bloody Mary.
Speaking your name thrice, you have summoned the queen of all evil, the mistress of mayhem. Everyone needs her, including that. Bloody Mary.
I thought, since I was at a wrestling show, the appropriate thing to chant right now would be, you messed up. Because they messed up and they summoned the most evil person in EW into the center of EW. Unfortunately, after I got a few looks from some actors, it seems like they didn't appreciate what I was doing and kind of thought I was making fun of them for making an actual mistake rather than chanting you messed up to signify that, they were about to die. I thought that it was a little inappropriate to chant something like Mary's gonna kill you or you're gonna get your fucking head kicked in. So I went with you messed up, and I really feel like it got taken the wrong way. So I'm making this video also as an apology to the fine people at the English World Wrestling Federation over at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire. I really enjoyed your show. I know I was really critical of it like seconds ago, but that's because this is a fun analysis video. I like your show and I'm sorry if I made you feel bad. I've been thinking about this since October, so my soul needs to be cleansed.
That being up is entirely true.
Stunner! By God! This guy is awesome! Why is he not the hero? I love him! I want an equestrian t-shirt.
Remember how I get into the
Oh!
Okay, broken arm. Now we're getting heat. Now we're at the point where someone evil is doing a bad thing that should get punished. So I like this. And it looks good. All they're doing is bending their arm, but it looks better than Ronda's armbar.
Woe is us! Woe is us! In the power of evil to succeed! If only we, the citizens of Narrow Giant, had someone, anyone we could call upon.
So who can help us? Things are so bad. There's just nothing but mayhem. Who is left to save us? Oh yeah, it's the Hooded Revenger. So the Hooded Revenger shows up, and I'm going to say this. I was really disappointed because the word hood in a pro wrestling sense often means a mask. So when I heard the Hooded Revenger, I was expecting to see like a lucha mask. And I was excited to see what the Renaissance take on a lucha mask would look like. I was thinking maybe it would look like a knight helmet, like, with the slits in the front. But instead, it's just this redhead. And don't get me wrong, they're great. They have a lot of charisma. They have the least amount of stage time compared to everyone else, but makes the most impact. Part of that is backstory, and part of that is the situation that they enter into, but you can tell just by the way that they carry themselves that they actually have a lot of charisma. The double team moves that are done are excellent. They're a perfect choice for the big damn hero moment when they come out and save the day. I was just a little disappointed because I felt like they set up a masked character and then didn't give me a masked character.
Oh.
I'm still taking home a belt. Who owes you?
And so, the new either get the hell out of here. The new EWW Tag Team Champions of the World. Or Glory, Honor, Justice, and the Hooded Revenger.
And thus, the day is saved thanks to Justice and the Masked Revenger, the new EWW Tag Team Champions. How are they the Tag Team Champions? This wasn't even a match. How did they become Tag Champions? I love this. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it doesn't need to because it's professional wrestling. I think one of the best messages this show could leave the audience with is that feeling you get when justice is served and the good guys overcome in professional wrestling. And to establish the fact that that moment and that feeling is more important than the logic of the matchup is great. In the end, I think that EWW is a great representation of professional wrestling. Are we going to see any Dave Meltzer 5-star classics out of it? No, we're not. But based on the fact that they were able to overcome the obstacles of not having a ring, not having the ring noise, not having elevated seats so that everyone was on the same plane, that they were able to still establish a really fun, entertaining show without the bumps and the gimmicks. There's no chairs in this either. That's important. I think is really impressive for a group of people that are clearly just trained in stage combat and not the art of professional wrestling. They've come up with a very good wrestling show with what they have. I really hope that EWW is something that continues at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire. I think it was a lot of fun. It's a great way to show off the talents of their cast in a unique way since they're all trained in combat fighting, stage combat. And I feel like I can only see a sword fight so many times. So getting to see some bare knuckle brawling and some grappling, it's a great mix up for the Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire. So I know I was critical and I said some wrestling stuff in there, but do know, Pennsylvania Renaissance Faire, I did truly enjoy this show and I hope to see it again. Just get me an equestrian t-shirt. And that's going to do it for this episode of Plus 2 Wrestling. It was a little bit sillier than what we've been talking about before, but I need to go a little sillier after the sadness of the Elimination Chamber. So, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe right here to Plus 2 Comedy Wrestling so you'll get a notification next time I upload one of these silly videos. And please, leave your suggestions for some sort of wrestling that I can review and dissect. You know, maybe some Mucha Lucha, or Bonesaw versus Spider-Man, or maybe some Nacho Libre. Tell me what you want me to review, and I will overly analyze it with a critical lens. And I also hope that you have a great day.